I'm sitting here with my friend Lisa. Lisa has done a lot of cool stuff with us over the past couple of years. We just want to share a little bit about her adventure, and her experience of us and of life. So, Lisa, I just want to thank you for joining us today, letting us do this, and letting us share it with the world. So, let me ask you a question. Who are you, and how did you find out about us?
I'm Lisa LaRock, and I found out about you through an interview you did with Brian Scott. And that led me to become your Facebook friend about 3 years ago. And I've done Dream Driven Day twice, Manifesting Mastery, and I'm in the Remarkable program right now.
I love Brian, and I've met a lot of cool people through him, so that makes me happy.
It makes me real it makes me real happy because without that I didn't know about you until him. I never heard of you. So that was really, really fortuitous that I saw that interview. Yeah.
Thank you. So you dove into some programs. Were you skeptical before you dove into the programs, or what moved you to dive in?
I don't remember being skeptical because I didn't even know you had a law of attraction group. And what happened was, I guess in your personal Facebook, you linked to your Feel It Real Fun shows. And I would show up for the Feel It Real Fun shows, and I never experienced anything like that. And there was such a sense of family, and people were having fun. They were actually really having fun, enjoying each other. And everybody was so at ease with one another that I think that just made me feel very at ease with you as well.
It's funny. I remember you dove right into Triple D,
Mhm.
and I remember like reading your name and going, "Wow!" Like this is your. I think that was your first real contact point with us. And I love how you mentioned even when you joined the show, you could get the sense of family, the sense of fun, and to me that really, really is what this is all about.
That's why I chose to dive in, is because I had a desire for family, and I recognized that right away. And I also knew that everybody was speaking in a language that they understood, and they all had a level of not just understanding but success, it seemed, and enjoyment of their lives. And I knew I needed to know more. And I thought about, gosh, I could show up to these Feel It Real Fun shows for the next 10 years and still not even scratch the surface of what these people understand and what they're experiencing. So that's why I decided to join the group right away, and haven't looked back since.
Wow. Is,
Mm-hmm.
is there anything else you'd like to share with those who are listening?
Yeah, I would. Well, you take imagination, and which is the neglected superpower we're all born with, and you place us in the driver's seat of our own imaginations. So we are no longer casualties of circumstance.
Wow, that's better than I say it. That's just
But yeah,
yeah.
it's true. It's true. And I would like to say that once I was in Triple D and became a member of the Law of Attraction group, I would see you comment, and of course hear you respond to people on the calls. And I what I learned from you, how to love in a way that has never been patterned to me before. You have an uncommon calibration to love and graciousness. So I love to promote you. I can't help but promote you. I'm just so grateful that I can do anything to help you to get your mission out there.
You know, I started doing these to promote what we do. You know, the crass commercial message. And I gotta say, by doing these, I have been so deeply touched because one of the most popular podcasts I did was a real simple one that said, "You matter." And when we do these calls, and I discover again and again that I matter, thank you. It just moves me.
You're welcome.
To me, the whole point of all of this comes down to love and joy. Because if we discover the love we are and we simply learn how to enjoy life, is there any bigger way to be the blessing? Is there any better way to be blessed?
No, because if you were going to ask me how my life has changed, I was going to say, I am the blessing.
Yeah, you know, that's one of the questions. The official questions on the list include, what results have you had? You know, like, how has your life changed? So,
yeah, I am the blessing. I talked to my friend a couple of weeks ago. She was so anxious. She had to call me to tell me that she was in an uncomfortable situation. She wanted to respond in one way, and she heard in her head my voice. I was telling her to imagine lovingly and to lift them up in love. And she said everything dissolved, and she had a better outcome than she could have ever expected. And she couldn't stop gushing over how that affected her.
Ripples of love. And that's going to bless the situation, the other people.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
So my last question, and then anything else we want to dive into. Who would you recommend dive into what we do, buy our products, join the courses?
I would recommend the course to people who have lost their childlike sense of enthusiasm for life, and for people who want to play more. And I would recommend the course to people who think joy and pleasure are negotiable, and for people who want to live a more soulful and authentic life.
Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome. I actually have a story I'd like to share. Can I do that?
Yeah. I'd love that.
Okay. So yesterday, I was thinking about something came to mind that I had not thought of for a long time. And it occurred about 6 years ago. And I was in a pretty rough spot, a dark place. And I had also, at that time, I had some land, and I had taken my lawnmower and made a spiral labyrinth in my side yard. And it was under a 200-year oak tree, and it was quite a large labyrinth, and it was on a cliff above a creek. And what happened was I would walk it and I would find bird feathers. And that was an encouragement to me at that time. It just became fun. And I'd call my mom and tell her I found another feather. And it was kind of like this unspoken support that I really appreciated at that time. Well, one day I go outside to take the dogs out into their fenced area. And across the fence, I see this large feather. And I thought, wow, I was so excited. I was so encouraged. And I opened the gate to run out to get this feather. And as soon as I got out there, I noticed there's another feather a little ways away from it. Well, I I looked across the yard and the whole yard was covered in feathers. And at that point, my enthusiasm and excitement turned to dread because I'm an animal lover. And I thought, oh boy, this bird probably didn't have a good outcome. I mean, I don't know where it is. And I walked all over the yard and I thought, oh wow, I just I can't handle this. So I went in and went about my day. And during the day, I heard so clearly that, are you not worth a single bird to me? And the message to me was that my worthiness was it not enough to accept that I was being given a whole bird, and that I could even, if need be, a whole flock would be given for me. And how that ties into Dream Driven Day is that a lot of times we don't feel worthy. We don't know our importance. We don't understand our value. And that's why we don't invest in ourselves. We don't see how investing in ourselves is going to contribute to the good of the world, to anybody else, to our families. But the fact is that we are worthy.
All I can do, all I can do is sit here and that. Wow.
Mhm.
To me, choosing to be blessed allows me to choose to be the blessing. And it's that every investment matters.
Mhm.
Every acceptance matters. Thank you for sharing the gift of love with us.
You're welcome, 20.